Hi, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Vladis. and wow, this weekend. Sorry so much. I just want to say right off rip. This was not a great weekend for me or my wife. So Friday night, just to kind of tell you a little TLDR. My 2-year-old and my 6-month-old started to do the sniffles, and I was like, oh. And then they started sneezing, and I'm like, oh. And then more sneezing with a bunch of snot coming out. And then I'm like, oh, we didn't really sleep at all from Friday night to Saturday. Me and my wife were wiped on Saturday. And of course, they were full blown sick by then. And yeah, we just were taking care of them and doing what we could to, like, and then how do you console a 6-month-old, and how do you console a 2-year-old at that? So yeah, it was not the best weekend, to be honest with you. And Sunday was better, but at the same time, it was rough, to say the least. It was rough. So I said yesterday on my Discord, and if you're not following me on Discord, that'll keep you up to date with anything that happens usually. I said I'll probably stream on Monday. And so here I am streaming on Monday. And there is some stuff that I do want to talk about. And there was some things said in the Discord today about just a whole bunch of things, man, where I was in the discussion a lot with, we'll talk to Kaio, talk to Ren, just a couple of other people from the Ashes Alpha 2 general chat. And it seems to me, right, I think anytime a player base is unhappy or isn't doing or feeling the best, we tend to gravitate towards the negative, right? Because what positive do we have, right? So we're just like, not saying grasping at straws. That's not really what I'm talking about. Video games, what's going on, brother? MC, what a man. Sorry to hear about your family was all sick. She's going around right now. Yeah, well, it's also 20 degrees here in Texas. So I was a little under the weather too. I just had the sniffles, but mostly the bulk of what I got was not being able to freaking sleep and being congested at night and then being fine during the day, which is the worst kind of being sick, to be honest with you. But we had some discussion today about, like, these kind of extreme takes that people have, right? And of course it's the Ashes general chat. I guess, like, for me, I have never been of this fan to abandon the player base. I know people are like, what are you talking about, Vlad? Well, let me explain. So there was some context about, like, people talking about, like, well, when a game is in development, the developers, their goal is to try to finish the game while the player, is trying to make the current game better. And the thing is that Ashes is in a very unique position where it's been 117 here today and today again. Oh my God, I would rather be in that weather than what the weather I am right now. That is for damn sure. I would prefer hot weather. I mean, hot weather I can tolerate. Cold weather, super cold weather. No. As a Texan, no, that's not what I want. No, but I think ultimately I want the base and I want the people to feel heard. And Ashes is in a very unique situation where they chose to do open alpha testing development, which is something that we've never came across in a AAA setting, right? Most AAAs, they often do closed alpha testing with NDAs. And there, I believe that sentiment of it doesn't truly matter what your base is there. Graven, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Because the point is to make the best game possible, right? And you're going to aggravate your testers or whatever. And if you do, and if your systems are borked or your loops aren't fun, guess what? You have the luxury to be like, hey guys, we're going to go dark for like a month or 2 months. We'll call y'all back when we have more shit ready for you guys. And that's kind of the beauty of the closed alpha development cycle. We don't have that luxury here, nor do the developers. So what do we do and what do the devs do? I think what we have been trying to do is look at all of the systems that have been broken, and not just broken as of currently. I'm talking broken been broken since phase 1. And I honestly feel when it comes to the most important system that I think Intrepid needs to deliver ASAP is the actual hunting system. The fact that we have an actual gathering system in the professions that is still placeholder, that is still providing so much friction towards the player due to the spawn frequency, due to, you know, it's not even really the petting, right? I mean, that is one thing, but I'm talking a complete design over of like how to actually get huntables, increasing the amount of huntables, and making hunting an actual legitimate profession, because I would say right now it does not feel like one. And if you're even trying to not even do the hunting side, but you're going into tanning or you're going into, you know, leatherworking, you're also facing a huge uphill battle. This one profession, hunting, fucks over multiple hunting or multiple professions because of how interconnected the profession system is. I came from New World and saw the community kill the game with bad vibes, criticizing it day after day. Eventually the game got better, but then it died. Well, yeah. And again, I think holding Intrepid to the fire of like the broken problems and not just being silent about it is a good thing, but there's a healthy medium there, right? And I think the players that are truly unhappy, that have already set their piece, you don't need to be here anymore. Like if you don't want to. And if you continue to be here, I feel like your bitterness is only going to get worse. And there are still people here that I think have, you know, retained a little portion of their sanity to fight for you and to fight for your opinion. Let me see. It's so damn hard to get near droppers from a mage. I need a better look. I'm level 13 and can't find crap. Yeah, I think honestly right now, like there's a multitude of different issues with the professions. But, you know, I know people talk about like, oh, RMT is really bad, you know, botting is really bad. And I do agree. But it's like I've said on my stream before, even if those things weren't in the game, there are still huge issues, right? And I think, again, even if you were to appease the community and say like, hey guys, we've got rid of bots and we got rid of this and we got rid of that, we would be on to the next thing that's like extremely bothersome to the friction of the game. And so it looks like Pantheon. Bro, I don't know. I've seen Pantheon. This looks absolutely nothing like Pantheon. But yeah, like I personally, we need to figure out like which systems, you know, are like the biggest problem childs of Ashes of Creation. And to me, hunting, I think, should be very much at the top of the list. I'm not saying that it needs to be your number one, but for me, as someone who is very much like an economist, as someone who values the profession system and what the game loots it really does provide, I feel like the hunting or the hunting system in general needs a literal, like it needs an actual system now. And you need to figure out like how you want huntables to be spawned in the world, and like how many huntables do you want out in the world? Like we got to figure all that out, because I think right now it's been in a terrible place for a long time. It hasn't really improved, and we've kind of been stuck with this for over a year. And I think the other major problem is if you look at every single kind of loop that people do. So for me, like I try to make gear, right? So like when I look at my gathering, and, you know, as someone who's a miner and a lumberjacker, I feel like I don't have too many issues. Like, I mean, I would say I wish braidwood and I wish weeping willow were more prevalent in the world than they are right now. But that could be an issue due to like mayors having flying mounts. You know, it could be due to other things. But I also feel like when it comes to weeping willow and braidwood, more specifically, I just feel like their static spawns and how they always spawn in the same spots is a huge issue, and it should be more dynamic in that regard. And that's an issue. I feel like every single material spawn, whether it's anything that you can hunt, anything that you can mine, anything that you can herb, they all should be dynamically spawned. None of them should have like, oh, you just come back to this one spot later and there'll be a braidwood there eventually. I don't think that's a good idea. It's been a while since I heard about it. I kind of assumed it would be oh my god, I have never fell down here. Is this like a jumping puzzle? Like, how do we get out of here? Oh no. Here, let me abandon my so yeah, no, honestly, like Ashes of Creation has been in development for like 8 years. We still have a long way to go. But apparently it's going to try to hit its beta by the end of the year, which I don't think it's going to do. I think if we're lucky, we'll have beta probably either by first or second quarter next year, or even by the summer, to be honest. Let me see. Still can't log in, relent and crash every time. Yeah, you click play. Yeah, I think, again, you know, a lot of the major bugs of, like, you know, not being able to log into the game, you know, all those critical issues should be handled just like the way they are now. Because anytime stuff like that, like I remember I was having the Unreal crash issue. It finally resolved after like a patch or two, which was annoying as hell, but it got fixed eventually. But I feel like there's just so many more systematic issues when it comes to, like, for you, like, I'm asking anyone in my chat, like, what system provides you the greatest frustration in Ashes of Creation right now? Like, and without saying RMT or botting or, you know, any of that, like, I'm talking an actual playable system in Ashes of Creation. Like, what system have you been trying to do and been beyond frustrated with that almost makes you want to quit the game? Because I feel like there's plenty of them. There's like the entire PvP loop, right? And the PvP loop consists of a bunch of different shit. Vassalization is also a huge issue too, because it basically, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but I wouldn't call it a major issue, because there's not really much gameplay we can gather from vassalization. It is definitely on my list, but it's not at the top personally. Every system in the game is currently deeply flawed. Yes, and while there's flaws in everything, but I'm talking a system in the game that you have been doing that almost discourages you from even trying to attempt it, because it's just like, it's stupid. Like for me, honestly, I would say sports fishing is one that I was actually having a really good time with, and now you know, fish go out of bounds. You know, people were, you know, missing their lures and doing also their stuff. Caravans, that's another great one by Zyback. Processing for cooking. You see PvP in general, I would say, when there's so many different loops to PvP. You know, again, the caravan one is definitely one that needs to be addressed. I think the fact that, you know, hunting, caravans, crates, like all those need massive adjustments. And in this major patch, I feel like if they were to take on those three things alone, I think it would be a pretty good W for the majority of players. We still have many other issues to focus on besides those things. Excessive processing times. I feel like, yeah, the Harbinger system, yeah, is it's the marquee system. It's the marquee system of the thing, and it doesn't even really work. Like, how does that, like, what are we doing? Let me see, tank class and then the level gap of mobs in general. I hate how I can be fighting level for mobs and walk down the road and they are level 13. Yeah, I think, well, I don't think that's like a major issue. I mean, I think, again, there's a lot of issues, but I'm trying to find like the most like critical issues. And I think the most critical issues is I look at player behavior in the sense of, you know, people want PvP, they can't get normal PvP, so they have to go through like extra steps basically in getting PvP, which is a huge problem and a huge issue. So what can we do to fix PvP? Well, you can actually put in lawless territories, not zones, but like, you know, let's say the entire zone of Athenar is lawless, you know, for an example. Now I wouldn't go Athenar. I wouldn't personally go any of the starting zones, but anything non-starting zones, look at the ZOI. I've said this before, like imagine just Wincia, right? Like if Wincia went lawless for, you know, a particular moment in time, and then it rotates kind of thing. Actually having that big enough areas that people can go in that, you know, people could experience like legitimate PvP. actually buffing caravans, nerfing crates. There's very simple things that I think they can do to accommodate a win for this next patch. The only question mark to me is this hunting system, because I don't know if they're ready for it, but man, they've been working on this system for a long time. So I really don't know like what else they can do to this system, like, or what problems they're continuing to have on it. What's up, buddy? Hope you're and family are doing well. We are, man. We finally, I think today has been pretty good. Like I said, this weekend sucked, but today's been pretty good so far for sure. Let me see. Yes, having PvP areas rotate would be fun. That's what I mean. Like, I think if we were to have actual rotating zones in a rotation with actual wards or potential incentives and buffs, I think that would actually be really cool. Now, to me, I think actually having smaller versions of the Harbinger system in place at starting areas would actually be a really good thing. And I think maybe that's in step 2 or step 3 of that roadmap they gave originally with the Harbingers and how it's supposed to operate. But right now it's not even operating. It's just, it's just there. But I think the fact that, you can only really experience it at level 25 it was a terrible decision, in my opinion. Absolutely terrible. You should have been introducing that stuff earlier to players to like prep them and to get them excited to reach level 25. Many people, especially if you were to do that in the starting zones. Let me see. Different zones need to go into wartime at different times so PvP can happen. I don't get how they can't implement that. Well, to me, I think there's a lot of things that they could probably implement. I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't, but I don't know what the decision-making process of priorities go outside of critical bugs and, things to fix. Because I felt like this first patch going into this new year was just going to be that. I don't think it was going to have anything new. I wasn't really preparing or excited for anything about it because I was just thinking, man, it's probably just going to fix a bunch of shit. But I feel like it didn't even really fix a lot of the stuff that players were asking to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there were some, but I feel like overall it was a huge letdown, for a lot of people. Oh, really? This is scary. I see people crafting epic elixirs for 2.2 G with the cost of like 1.8 G plus hours of gathering and processing. Makes no sense. Yeah. And again, it's because the whole economy right now is also, in my opinion, it's just borked. The whole economy right now is just borked because of like the RMT that's been happening, because of botting that's been happening. Apparently there's been a new dupe that's been discovered. I don't know how it works or operates yet. I haven't really looked too much into this over the weekend. Let me see. Boredom. They're hoping Dusty's Guild will be enough of a punching bag to be fun, basically. Yeah. Polar going to, I heard that they're coming over here to Shoal. Yeah, I think honestly right now it's just, we don't know if there's even going to be a wipe. And I feel like right now we still have so much fixing ahead of ourselves that it really wouldn't be conducive of a wipe, at least not yet. And we got to really see what major patch and the complete patch notes of it to see if it would even be worthy of a wipe. What? Go over there with mommy. I'll be there in a little bit, okay? Jesus. Do you think there will be a server merge soon? Resna is empty, man. Maybe. I don't know. I think there are people that are asking for a server merge on certain servers. I've just kind of been playing so solo, man. I can honestly have this server all to myself and probably wouldn't, it wouldn't really matter too much to me right now. I mean, it probably would, because I would need stuff crafted and I want, I need people to do that with. So I guess it kind of would affect me. But yeah, I think right now we're just in this kind of hurry up and wait situation, right? And I think that also just doesn't feel good. And we were in this exact scenario, like literally almost verbatim last year, January of last year. Oh my God, you can go back to the Discord. I mean, this is when the whole, like, the desert doesn't exist. And this is like when Narc was still here. And this was like January was the whole drama that happened with like Asmongold, Steven, Narc and Pirate. And It was a crazy month. Like in phase 2, January last year was a crazy fucking month. So it's just sort of funny how we're almost repeating the same shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. You say, I don't think we're gonna wipe in a long time. I don't know, man. This is the first time where I'm actually sort of like at a loss of words. I honestly don't know what'll happen. I don't know. Let me see. No mergers until the bots are handled. We don't need to be imploding or implementing bots. We have enough. I think right now the whole bot thing has gotten very much out of hand in comparison, especially for someone who's played phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 3 has probably garnered more bots than I've ever seen Ashes of Creation have. Because I don't remember bots in this degree in phase 1 or phase 2. I really don't. Not saying that they didn't exist, but to this magnitude, I feel like early access truly exploded with RMT and just the nefarious behavior of botting. The bots are here because because Steam players are RMTing. No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, again, RMTers wouldn't waste their time on a game like this if players weren't spending their hard-earned money, you know, on this game, and they are. I mean, the numbers show it. You can go to any website. I mean, look at G2G, look at any of those like RMT websites, and there's plenty of orders going through daily. And I don't know. I think, again, it's like Intrepid is pulled in like 18 different ways simultaneously. And it's just, it's very discouraging. You know what I'm saying? It's very discouraging to see, because I just don't know what they're going to continue to do about it, because I think what they have been doing about it has implemented zero fear in people. And it's a shame. You know, it really is. I don't know if I've ever seen this magnitude of bots in any game I've ever played. I think it's more apparent in a game like Ashes comparatively to the other theme park games. Truly, I mean that. And again, like New World, like, I mean, there was an article that someone posted that New World did their ban wave, and they literally got rid of 8,000 bot accounts during, I think, its first couple of months of launch, like the actual launch release. So, you know, in games like Ashes, where, you know, you have like an actual living, breathing, like player driven world, especially with economy and gatherables and kind of the way this game's set up, like you're going to see them more often. And, you know, will they ban Steam account? That's what they said. I mean, dude, like I said, from my point of view, I think they should go fucking hardcore. I think they should go hardcore with it. I think they need to go hardcore with it. You need to put in the fear in people. If people aren't afraid, they're going to continue to buy. And if people are continuing to buy, that means you're still feeding the RMT websites, which means you're still feeding the sellers. And if the sellers feel empowered, they will keep buying accounts. So no matter how many, like, again, it's whack-a-mole. Like, okay, like you banded, you know, 2,000 seller accounts. Well, guess what? 2,000 just got bought right now. Like, who cares? Like, it's fucking hard to do this, man. Like, these people go through so many different measures to make sure that they can keep selling. And it's not just one honeypot, man. Like, you need so many of those things, and you need to, in my opinion, it would be better to not even ban the sellers, truly, and start permabanning buyers. Like, seriously, like if you start, because the sellers and having those big old stacks of their materials sitting, not doing a fucking thing, and every single time that person gets traded something and they get permanently banned, and let's say you're a dad or you're, you know, just an average player or whatever, yeah, you can buy a second account, but people already complain of how like grindy and how like insane this game is. And I feel like if you start buying those people talk, those people, like, speaking of bots, oh, stop. See, I mean, it's literally like they're everywhere, man. Like, and they're so easy to spot. Like, again, you know what I mean? Like I said this yesterday. I mean, I said this on Friday, but I will say it again. Intrepid, if you want to hire me as a 1099 as a contractor for $0, I will freaking be a live GM on Shoal, and I will only ban people on stream. I won't do anything unless I am streaming to show proof that of who I am banning are legitimately bots. I will do that for free for the hours that I play. I will even extend my hours. I will probably stream for not only 2, maybe I'll go 5 hours. I don't give a shit if given the opportunity to. And then outside of my streaming, I won't ban anybody, you know? But I think if you had someone legitimately flagging these accounts like this person would, oh man, would actually be a good thing for the players. You know what I mean? Because honestly, right now, there's still a shit ton of people buying. And that's the problem. That's always the fucking problem, is the buyers. You see, wipe the servers and go from there, I'd say. This isn't something of a tickle beaver wants to do. Or I thought of the game had legs, but some of the game loops are not fun PvP, although not totally unfun. Does mean you have to farm to get the latest and greatest weapons and armor. Well, of course. I mean, in any game, you're always going to, especially if PvP is involved, like, you're not going to want to PvP in shit gear. You know what I mean? So, of course, once you hit, like, level 25, people are always going to try to deck themselves out in, like, the best of the best. That's any game, brother. Let me see, 50% of AVNs into Brimer space or bots. Yeah, I haven't been, honestly. Like, should I just actually go to my brand new character and just go around there and just see? Like, I'm actually really, I have not been to the actual starting parts of the game, and I'd be very interested to see, you know, what that is. Damn, sign me up for Vladis GM conglomerate. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I know Intrepid's hurting financially, like any startup is, and I would legitimately do it for free, and I would only do it on my stream. That way I'm not going to go rogue and start banning whoever the fuck I want or whatever. But like, if I see that there's legitimate proof, like on my screen, and I can tell, because again, I think a physical person, a real person can tell so fucking quickly that this is a bot. So quickly. I'd be more than happy to do that. Because we do need live GMs. I think we need live GMs sooner rather than later, personally. Let me see, if they want to keep the corrupt system, just make it so that if you PvP someone at a lower level, then you get corrupt. If you fight anyone within your level, it's fair game. No, because if you're fighting someone that doesn't want to PvP, you should be corrupted. If someone doesn't, like for me right now, I don't want to PvP right now. But if a person kills me, I'm willing to accept the death, but they're also gonna have to be willing to accept the corruption. I think, again, people are looking at that the wrong way. To me, you, Intrepid, need to find ways to incentivize people to be combatant naturally, just out in the world. If you're not providing any reasons to be combatant, then why would anyone go combatant? Whether that's like, again, you have, I would love something like 50% buff duration of scrolls and elixirs and food. You would have potential lower XP debt. You could have XP, like a multiplier on XP gain. You can do so many different things to just say like, hey, I'm going to go combatant instead of non-combatant. And you also need to have like an actual UI thing to make someone just flag as a combatant, not holding down a button and hitting someone to then flag you. That to me is so dumb. Like, I get it. I understand why it exists, and that should be an option for players. But I think if you just want to be a combatant to have these particular perks and buffs, why the fuck not? That you're willingly flagging yourself as a consensual PvPer out in the world to garner those buffs and those advantages, and then you'll have way more natural just PvP out in the world. Whether it's like the onesie twosie or people want to group up or whatever the case is, like it's your choice to do so. It's completely your choice. If they are hurting financially, they wouldn't want to go too hard on the bots since they buy more accounts. But I think in the long run, you're going to lose more real players due to the fact that the bots are just kind of out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you will only have money supporting you with bots in your game and no real players eventually. And that's the thing that I don't want. And I think a lot of players don't want that either. So I would rather have just something, yeah, bots use stolen credit cards that charge back. Exactly. Like I would just rather have, damn, did I get 8? Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I thought I just saw 8 rubies and I was like, did I just roll or proc 8 rubies? No, that was something else. Let me see if you fight back, it removes dropped items. Look, I think again, you're asking for just consensual PvP. I believe that's what you're really asking for. And so I am for adding incentives for people to be consensually flagged as combatant out in the world and having people and having more PvP with that. I think again, if you're trying to fuck someone that is a like a non-combatant that doesn't want to be messed with, that's what this game has been built on, is having like a true PvX, right? So, and again, you can't just always make it super hard for PvEers, right? But you need to incentivize PvP. And right now there truly isn't any incentivization right now in PvP, like literally at all. Honestly, despite all the bugs, they could simply keep it great. Fix caravans for more PvP, fix harbingers, adjust craft material amount, tweak classes a bit, fix citizenship / election exploits done. Game would be 1,000% better. Again, I understand there's a lot of things they can do just numerically that would really make players extremely happy. And this is why I think I was so baffled. I said this, I didn't know what I was expecting from this, like, major patch or whatever. When I heard Margaret say that in the general chat, well, we have a lot of fixes coming for you. And I was thinking, oh man, great. Cause we have so much stuff that's kind of broken in the game right now. And usually in my mind, I feel like Intrepid is always kind of with their ear to the ground, listening to the community and listening to like the problems and issues that we've been going through. So I thought this patch was going to be a lot of those banger fixes of like, oh yes, like, this was fixed and this was fixed, like, oh, good. And it just felt like, really? Like, this was it? Like, that's why, I mean, I really meant that. Like, I was at such a loss, like and I know it wasn't all it, like, that's like the entire thing. Of course, there's gonna be more added, but the fact that was like its first presentation to us, like, I was massively disappointed by that. And I was so confused. I was like, you need PTR for this? Like, what? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, if that felt very confusing to me too. I'm like, has the major patch dropped yet? No, it has not. We actually haven't even got a like an additional patch, really, like an updated thing of it. Like, it's kind of nutty. Isn't there zones with better materials that'll flag you for as PvP just by being in that zone? There used to be lawless zones, and now you can't find a single one. There were purple circles on the map, and currently right now there are none. I believe they disabled them, but yes, there used to be areas on the map that you can do stuff like that, and there isn't. Weird. A lot, she said. Then I saw the patch and I was dying laughing. Yeah, I think a lot of people were just either like troll laughing or just like me and just bewildered in the sense of like, really? Like, out of all the stuff that we've been like yelling from the rooftops from as soon as y'all went on break to now, like, this is the changes. Like, these are the things that y'all decided to prioritize for fixing. And I get the things that maybe the things that we are asking to be fixed are probably prioritized as well. And maybe those things have been a lot harder for them to code and to, like, maybe they're still having issues with it, right? I don't know. But, and this is where, again, I come with communication. Like, everything that I am talking about could all be solved with simple communication, words on a page. And that's been a total fumble. This whole month, in my opinion, has been the greatest fumble of communication Intrepid has had. And that, to me, is very concerning. Multiple reasons, but the biggest reason is you now have a brand new audience due to early access. And this is what they think communication is between the players and a company. And the thing that I was always so proud of, as someone who's been in this community for a long time, was how agile you guys were communicating. And now when like the rubber meets the road and you have like an actual like brand new crop of people, you're literally showing them the same courtesy as any AAA multi-billion-dollar company's communication is, which is radio silence mostly. And that to me was just so like I can't even argue against that. You know what I mean? Like I can't even, I literally can't even like back them up on this, because it takes 10 minutes. It literally takes 10 minutes to write up a post and say like what you know, the things the community has been frustrated on, and just listing those things out, saying that, hey, we are paying attention to you, we have been listening, you know, and we're working on those things. You can see their workflow inside Studio is just highly inefficient. Facts. I don't know. It seems so. Like it really does. Like it seems like there's either a lot of bureaucracy halting them, which bureaucracy usually exists in these multi-billion-dollar companies. You know what I'm saying? Like what is literally like halting them in that regard? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It could be Steven. It could be Margaret. It could be nothing. It could be everybody just all like almost paranoid, all hands on deck. And they're just so with their face to the page that they haven't even like looked up. Right? Like, I don't know. Like it could be any of those things. I'm not too sure. You see, you were literally saying what I was typing, one of the worst times to be so silent just after Steam release. No, exactly. It is. It's literally the worst time to do this. Like you can't, like out of all the times for you to be radio silent, it could have been in phase 1. It could have been in phase 2, but not now. Not when, you know, our, if you look at on the Google stats, Ashes of Creation, early access had, it was the highest it's been in years. Like the hype was fucking real, which means all eyes were on Intrepid Studios. And you mean to tell me like you couldn't have one person to just compile all of the things that people were going on about and just address the community in a very straightforward fashion to say like, hey, we are working on those things, but the things that the players want fixed right now, we are having issues, and our internal QA has been testing and retesting the potential fixes that we have for those systems. They're just not, you know, they're not in yet. We're working on it, but we do have these other list of issues that we do have fixed. But just knowing those things that you guys are upset about, those systems or these particular things that people are really upset about, we are working on them. Like we are getting to them, you know, like that's all you need to do. All you need to do. Like it's not a big ask. It's literally, I wrote up this Reddit post and I deleted it. I had this whole Reddit post. I don't know if people were watching me when I was set this on stream, but I did do it. I just didn't post it because I didn't know what it was really going to do, if anything. And I think I called it With All Due Respect was the title. And it was basically just kind of me getting my frustration out of like this lack of communication. And let me see, do you think something serious happened internally because it's not their usual go-to without comms this way? I feel like right now there has to be some internal scrambling for sure, but I think what they're doing is, we'll just save it till the live stream, which was a bad move in my mind. A bad move. You literally had to tell me that from the last live stream, which was what, December 9th, and then you had EA launch on the 11th, to then say, well, we're not really going to communicate anything with you guys from that point all the way till the end of the month in January. Why? That's why Discord exists. That's why announcements exist. That's why adding everyone exists. Like it in my opinion, one of the worst moves they could have done. And I don't know whose fault that is. I don't. Like, I don't know whose fault that was. Let me see. They need to win. Bro, they need to win. They do. And I hope they get one. Because it's you know, as frustrated as I am, like, I think there's so many other people that are like, you know, oh man, this game like has been monstrously frustrating to me. I'm just gonna quit and I'm gonna go and do something else. And I think that's fine. You know what I mean? But it's, to me, it's such a shame because maybe that person could have stayed if they were just spoken to and just feel like that their concerns were being heard. You know, like that was a thing that, honestly, like, a little short story. I worked at Walgreens and our store had one of the biggest feedback rates of our surveys. We had some of the highest marks because we really listened to the people that that came to our store. And to me, it was super easy. Like, and this is what I was telling my GM at the time, my general manager, because, you know, they asked us, you know, it was kind of like, I don't know if you remember the episode of The Office where, oh my God, the girl that played in Misery, she was the boss of Saber. And she says, I want to hear from, you know, everybody. Right. And so, like, I wasn't really anything big. I was just an SFL. And, you know, we had kind of a meeting like that. And I just said, it's not hard. You just hear the feedback and find ways to implement it. And usually, like, it was like a 5-minute thing. Like, it wasn't anything like where we were doing anything crazy. We're just listening to, you know, like, oh, this, you know, we would prefer if this was more eye level. Oh, we would prefer in photo if, like, y'all had these things more prominently displayed, or, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, like, we can do that. Like, it's just very simple shit. And funny enough, when you do that, corporate doesn't like that, because corporate likes every store to have like a theme or have like and we never followed it. We never followed it. We always did our own shit, and our customers loved it. You know what I mean? And that's why anytime we got graded or we had like shoppers that came in to give us feedback, it was always really good. And it's just simple. It's very simple. You know, instead of time-based lawless zones being dropped on Highwayman Hills, all that achieved was some newbies getting farmed by a few bored psychopaths. Yeah, I mean, yeah, nobody quits an MMO. They take a break. They all come back. No, that's for sure. And I think a lot of times too, whenever you kind of stomp your feet on the ground and you make this big old hoopla and say like, I'm leaving forever, you really don't. But going outside the few psychopaths quote, I feel like the thing that always kind of disappointed me was they never actually implemented lawless zones or those little lawless spots on the map in places where you actually have a concentration of level 25s. Like, why didn't you ever do that in the Forge? Why didn't you ever put that in Carfin? Like, why didn't you put that in like some of the other areas where you actually have like high level players at, right? Like Grave Peaks. Who the hell goes to Grave Peaks? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have it in more prominent areas. Let me see. Having lawless being in Hyman was never what the PvPers wanted. We wanted Carfin, Forge, etc. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, to me, it was just wild. You know what I mean? That you couldn't have it in some of these other high volume places where you actually have like higher level players. You know what I'm saying? Like what are we doing? We might as well wait for the next wipe, to be honest. I know for me, like, I've just been sort of with my head down, gathering my shit. I'm still trying to make my mining pick. I need to make my lumberjacking axe. And then I got to work on, once I hit level 20, to work on my pedal shard stuff. So what do you think they need to have in game before moving to beta? Oh, fuck. That's a huge, I don't even know where to start, brother. So in my opinion, what we need in more simpler terms is every single system in Ashes of Creation at a 1.0 level. That means every system in its entirety, right? And with how many systems there are in game, like, I'm also really curious as to like what is going to be shelved and what is going to be potentially like taken towards beta. I don't know. I know level 50 is still on the table, so we're going to have that. I know all 4 types of settlements are still there. I know settlements in general, like the complete settlement system with all of its buildings and everything like that in correlation to its types are going to be there, which the settlement system has a lot going for it. I mean, again, you talk about like the mandate system, you talk about the policy system, you talk about the happiness system, you talk about the elections, the different types of elections, you talk about like some of the council. There's supposed to be city council on some of these nodes or settlements. Again, I don't know what all is scrapped or what is being saved towards launch. I don't know, but, and this is why I don't think they're going to make it this year. I don't think that they're ever going to hit beta this year. I think if they're lucky, like I said, they'll hit beta probably at the end of first or second quarter, but I would say more realistically, probably in the summer. That's my thing. Lost Ark, Throne of Liberty, New World, Lineage 2, Black Age, or Black Desert Online. I'm taking a long break from those. Not sure if I'll ever return. Honestly, like ooh, what's this? Ooh, what can I get rid of? Let's get rid of this. Yeah, honestly, like I said, some people, when they do take a break, those people do never come back. I mean, for me, when I say I quit a game, like I except for WoW, that's the only game I've said so many times, said like 18 times that I was going to quit World of Warcraft, and I never did. And again, I think there's some MMOs where you can just say I'm done, and then you're literally done. You'll never ever come back. Some other game will capture your attention, or your old game will you'll have to suck it up and play that shit. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I do feel like Ashes does have a saving grace, which is the live launch. It's fine to frustrate players now, but you can't completely abandon your current player base either. Like, the player sentiment right now is very low. The morale is low, and you literally need to understand what is frustrating players, because if you want testers, right? If you have your player base going down on a live service game, and well, this is technically not supposed to be a live service game yet because we're still in alpha. You can't just keep plunging through offering brand new content that doesn't work when current systems are still broken, because all that's going to do is exacerbate the current testing base, and to be like, you see guys, you're still very tone deaf. You're not listening. You're not understanding what we want. I just don't even want to test this anymore. And they're going to go somewhere else. If that gets so bad, you're not even going to have a testing base left. And then you're probably going to have to get to a live launch eventually where many bugs, many dupes, potentially exploits are going to slip through the cracks because there weren't enough people testing the game like there were earlier at the latter part of the testing, when you started introducing a bunch of brand new systems. That to me is a very, very scary world that we could potentially live in. You see, in my opinion, permanent leaving an MMO comes down to why you're playing it. If because it's new, then easy leave. If because you like something specific, aka new world combat, people will come back and go with each update. I can see that. And I think honestly too, especially when a game has a certain grasp on you, like you really love this aspect of the game, but like there's so many other parts of it that are just really irky. I still feel like with an update that could potentially fix all those irkiness parts, and that one thing is actually shining even brighter, you're definitely going to come back and try it out again. I learned my alpha fatigue lesson with Albion Online. Shame too. They had a lovely core community. Yeah, I think honestly, like, that's the thing that I kind of fear. And a lot of people are just with this mindset that, well, screw how players feel right now. They just need to keep making you content. And I don't think that's the right attitude to have, like, at all. Like, I think there are people that have sacrificed, and have been sacrificing their time to test this game and to give you feedback. And if you keep pissing those players off, like, and I'm mostly talking about the hardcore base, like the people that have potentially spent $500, $375, $250, and you keep like spitting in our face by being like radio silent or by giving us the complete bare minimum in communication and also in addressing our true concerns, there's only so much punishment and abuse that a person can take before they just say, I'm done. And they are done. And I think that's just, it's such a shame to lose someone over something so simple. You know what I'm trying to say? And this kind of goes back to my Walgreens analogy. Like, it's very easy to appease a customer. Like, sometimes you just got to grin and bear it and let them hear what they want to hear. But then the action has to come too, right? And this is what a lot of companies don't get, is the fact that they can do a really good job communicating of player sentiment, but they never execute the result of the player sentiment, right? The thing that actually is causing them frustration, and fixing that thing to make it better. And it sucks. That's fine. That was fine in the 2000s. I really expected more engaging gameplay today, even if the game is supposed to be old school. I mean, I think that comes down to just either player expectation or like what you want an MMO as of today. I would say for me, I think this game does give a very old school vibe, and and that kind of has different walks of life from people. But I would also say that Ashes of Creation right now it does not have all the systems present. And so like a lot of people I've been hearing is like, oh, this game is so dry. This game is so lack of content. And it's like, well, yeah, because we're missing like 80% of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like we're missing a shit ton of this game. And I would rather people actually experience, the 1.0 launch, where we do have like levels 1 through 50. We do have secondary augments. We actually have completed class trees. We have a completed profession system with no fucking placeholders. We have a fleshed out crafting system where you can craft any light, medium, or heavy with a mixture of strength, intellect, or constitution on it. Like, and we just don't have that right now. Like, there's so many things that we just don't have. And it's really going to rub people the wrong way by playing this game now. And then you're never really ever going to get that first time impression, and I've been seeing this on Reddit. I've been seeing this on, different places of people saying how their first time experience with Ashes is now tainted because of early access. And the only person I can blame is really the person who bought it. Like, again, no one forced you into doing this. No one told you to buy it. If you wanted to buy it, like, that was on you. And you have to accept the fact that, like, hey, this is early access. This is not a completed experience. But this is also why I've been telling people to just literally wait, because I don't want their first experience to be wasted on the current game state right now. I just don't. Let me see. I slowed on Ashes of Creation because I love new experience, explore zones, etc. So when released, I will not have the same amount of energy. And I think a lot of people won't. I mean, this is why, like, I was that Oh my God. I think of that astronaut meme. Like, what was that astronaut meme where it's like, I was forced to buy it. And then it's like the last astronaut was like, always was, or something like that. See, Ashes is like a building a house, and we currently have a foundation plan and the kitchen sink ordered, but nothing else is ready. Well, yeah, it's like literally like walking into a foundation with no walls, no anything, and the plumbers are coming to put in the plumbing. And it's like you're over here trying to think of like where to put your 65-inch TV, and it's like, brother, we don't even have walls right now. What do you mean talking about your 65-inch TV? Like, and that's how I feel how bare Ashes of Creation is right now. Like we're missing a lot, let me see. It's not that deep. They saw a game for sale, bought it. It's bad because alpha, never look at it again. No, I'm not saying it's deep, but I'm just saying what the thing about it is, because they went into early access, which is a decision that it still kind of baffles me, but I mean, maybe it was because if it was something financially driven. I think people and players have tainted their first time experience in an alpha, when maybe if they could have came in later, they would have actually been pleasantly surprised by the finished product and the completed system of Ashes, but they'll never get that. You know what I'm saying? Which is a shame. We've been well braid wood. I don't know why I picked up this Riverland Essence. Oh, it is what it is. Let me see. You don't have to buy it, but Intrepid wants you to buy it, and the current state of the game is all on them. It is. I mean, it's like, and again, with Intrepid, they have been like working their ass off. I know they have been, but it's like, thank God. But I feel like right now there are so many things that we need to get back on track with. And honestly, like, I am really wanting to see what they're going to do for this live stream, because I feel like this live stream really has to answer for a lot, at least to me. Oh, you'll probably sell the slate. I don't think slate really goes for anything. You see, from my understanding, the reason for going to Steam was to target more people for testing. Well, that's what I mean, right? Which means what? Like, what does that statement entail? It entails that the base, the passionate players, the people that have been here since phase 1 and 2 are burnt out because of, testing fatigue, because of, honestly, it's not one reason. That's probably a very multifaceted answer. But they probably did need more testers, which is true. But you can't keep aggravating. You can't keep like this low sentiment within the community down like this, because you're only going to shoo away more of the permanent base that's been here for years. And all you're going to have left is people that are just, that don't truly have as much investment as the other players did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a good thing to be at either. Gearing is so painful. I get they want crafting, but it so aids to grind. And I think right now, like, and I've said this before, I think the gear grind for gear right now is pretty crazy. Like, it is. It's pretty crazy. And I've said this before, like, I think they need to have like a nerf of quantity of materials, and they did do that to certain things, but to other things they did not. And I'm really curious as to how intensive do they want it to be? Because here's my thing. Like, how many of y'all crafted like really crazy adept gear? Or how many people had a crazy adept gear that they crafted themselves versus having just basic white adept gear? None of. To my experience, and when I've asked a lot of my guildies, had maybe some common, uncommon, but really it wasn't anything that people really did. So no one was really crafting novice stuff. No one was really crafting adept stuff either. Just the stuff that they maybe found off of mobs, any whites mostly. But mainly people are crafting the radiant stuff. So what happens? My point is, what happens once we have 50 levels? Like, what are we doing? That means that we're probably going to be okay with common radiant items, and we're going to be okay with common grand or master items. And then we're going to be okay with common grandmaster items. And that's where the true, like, grinding the gear is going to be. So why are we having to spend so much focus on levels that don't really matter too much, right? Like, I understand that you guys want to have an economy. I understand that there needs to be certain things that need to feel like aren't super duper simple to make. But the reality is that people aren't even making novice gear. People aren't even making adept gear. The only thing that people are truly making is the radiant gear, because we're at level 25 right now. But I feel like once we have level 50, I don't think people are going to be, probably grinding too much to make that gear. Right? So, am I missing something? I just spam novice items and crafting to level up that profession, then vendor all of it. Yeah, I mean, which is a shame. And I've already said this. I think the whole way to craft The whole crafting to me needs to be more strategic in this regard. And I think I would rather have crafting be an entirely different thing than how processing and gathering works. Because I think it's really dumb and arbitrary to having, or redundant to make like a piece of gear 1,000 times to go from 1 to 10. Like that's stupid. Like it's stupid. Like you're not, I would rather have a more refined crafting system to then you can make a couple of selected pieces of gear to level yourself up, or to even level those particular recipes up. And with enough items that you've chosen to level, then it unlocks the next certification. Because I don't like this whole having to craft like a shit ton of like items over and over and over again. I think that's just kind of a waste of materials personally, especially when it comes to novice stuff. Really, like, again, no one even wears it anyway, so what's the point of like having to like make so many? I don't know, it just baffles me. Vlad, have a theory that the reason current gear is so hard to craft is because we are testing as if we were level 50. Think about it. If we haven't tested level 25 plus, where's the level cap increase where we're supposed to test? Well, that's never been said though. That's what people assume. Because I can guarantee you that once let's say we do have Grandmaster gear, and it takes let's say 1,200 of a specific item, and then 5,000 of another item, people would be really pissed off. And then that whole, oh, we're testing endgame stuff went out the fucking window, right? So, and again, I know with the gathering talent trees and the processing and everything like that, there is going to be way more gathered materials acquired once we have those trees and once we get certain things or whatever. But let me see. Dreams RL redeemed, got the raid. All right, Dreams. Well, like I said, whenever I finish the stream, if you want me to raid a particular person, then just let me know who you wanna raid. Let me see. Not gonna lie, WoW crafting for leveling is better. At least the gear is usable and doesn't take that long to get. Well, I feel like WoW's system is very different from Ashes. I really don't think that you can compare the kind of stuff that it takes for the stuff you need in WoW in Ashes, because I feel like they're just two completely different gathering systems. Let me see. Drops suck. PvP sucks. Gathering is boring. Intrepid needs to start wooing its fan base before people start literally moving on. Well, I know that's what I've been saying. Like, to me, it was just kind of a mistake to have this, to have like almost the zero communication to the base, till the live stream. Like, I don't know whose decision that was. That was not a good decision to make. It creates bottomless resource grind. It promotes RMTers and adds to power gap issues between hardcore and casual. The current state of affairs just slightly improves things since P2. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I just think right now with crafting to me has always felt terrible. Like when I was doing tailoring, as an example, I did not like how you had to make the same back piece like over and over and over again. And then of course you talk into the systems of like the tediousness, right? And you feel the jank of like having to do 3,000 clicks because of just how certain things are. It really, really sucks. Jerome, thank you so much for the sub, brother. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream, man. And, and that's to me is like more of like an annoyance issue, right? The UI, the way like crafting works, the way selling stuff works. There's so much like friction just on like small things that just sort of add up over time. So like if the bigger things are frustrating you and then you're like, oh, I gotta hit journeyman and I'm level 17, and you're like, fuck, I gotta make, probably another 200 of this stupid ass thing. And then you have to fucking click it like over and over and over and over again because there's no automated way to fucking do it, which is dumb. Like it makes you want to quit before you even start. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, craft 100 of the same item would not be as big of an issue if you can craft in bulk, but one at a time is so annoying. Yeah, I know. And this is why I don't understand why they didn't treat crafting like processing. like in a sense. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't, and I said this on Friday with my stream, is like, why does it take like 5 minutes to make like 5 ingots, but then as a crafter, I can get all of your components together and make that whole chess piece in 0.1 seconds. What? Like, I don't get the time correlation. It's like, oh, because they want processing time to matter. Well, why doesn't crafting time matter? Like, that was my thing. So if crafting time doesn't matter, why should processing? To me is the thing. I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would be totally fine. I've been doing processing, doing a shit ton of processing. The time is fine to me, but I feel like, why do we need it? And I feel like processing time is going to get more and more faster once we have the talent trees, to be honest with you. I think if you choose to be a grandmaster processor, you're going to be able to want to give that person your business because, you know, they're probably going to have like almost 75% less time consumption compared to someone else. Isn't crafting supposed to get skills later? Skills? I don't think skills. No. Crafting, just like anything else, is supposed to have an artisan talent tree associated with it, so you can specialize your crafts into certain niches that you want to be in. But that's what that'll be. New ban list on? Wait, really? Did they just do that? Our latest ban list is now available on support site. Moving forward, these lists we publish on a mostly weekly basis, pending holiday and schedule PTO for our team. We won't be posting Discord news updates each time a new list goes live. If you'd like to stay up to date, please check the support notification section where all future ban lists will be shared. Why is it shared there? Literally put it on the website. Here, 1 second. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, is this? Oh, okay. So it is guilds. Okay. I don't know. Hey, what are you doing? All right. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go and tuck my little girl in and I'll be right back. 1 sec. Ready to sleep? Stay by.
Bye.
Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So what's on this list? All right. So we have Untrusted Commissioner in fairness of environment. In the interest of transparency, we provided a regular list or updated list of actions taken against characters that violated TOS. We value the integrity of our testing environment and community. These actions serve as a reminder that exploitative and harmful behavior has consequences, and we remain committed to protecting the health of Ashes of Creation's world. Some character names may be for multiple times. This occurs when a player deletes and recreates the same character name. This information covers the past 14 days, so 2 weeks. Shit bomb. I saw this guy. Oh, he's banned now. Probably has another account. My name Alan. There was a guy on Shoal named Benjamin that was a bot. Yeah, that guy's name is Shit Bomb. All right, so let's see. Thunderlord, Black Smoke, Phantom Edge. No juicy names that I saw. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, these are all from Shoal. I don't see anybody that I recognize, but well, Zyback, I guess maybe. Oh, Alan is on there. Oh, that was the guy from the video. Was it not? I'm talking about you, Alan. Wait, no, this Alan is from Shoal, though. Is there a different Alan on Resna, Zyback? Because I could have sworn your Alan was not on, yeah, it was his other, that's his other account. Oh, I'm getting info that his other account, he probably sells them. Oh my God. It's freaking crazy, dude. So yeah, I don't see anybody here. Like, where are the guilds at the bottom? Collection, quantity. So Resna, Resna, Resna. And that was it. What's probably funny now is that the meta now, especially now that maybe these potential people that are RMTing or, you know, doing shady shit are probably just dropping guild at this point. I would not doubt in my mind that if you have a guild that is doing nefarious shit and you have a person that is being funneled, to not have that person in your guild. Like that to me would be like the thing. Let me see. That's a pretty disappointing list. There's some Omega level cheaters not on there, sadly. Yep. And I don't know, man. Let me see. I killed a Lion's Hold guy on Lenneth many times. Bot mounting outside Halcyon. Let me see. There are only 12 people banned on Letheria. Am I on the list? You see, you can copy pasta into Google spreadsheets and organize it very easily. Bro, I'm not even going to do that right now. Like, I tried to attempt it last time. Did not work well. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like, let me see. It looks like they banned some of the bots I reported. Well, that's good. There was a couple of bots that I recognized, to be honest with you. Damn, look at all the Verra ones. But to me, I feel like I don't understand why this can't be on the website. Like, why can't you just put this like on your front page? This is such easy layup publicity for you. Like, I don't understand why you have to hide this in the support forums. Search Phantom X. Are you serious? Here, let me see. Is Phantom X oh, dang it, man. They haven't caught him yet. All right, well, maybe it's just a matter of time. We'll see. Let's see. Let's not make him go through the pain of it. Yes, please don't. Not yet, bitches. Yeah, easy W to promote enforcement. Exactly. Like, it's such an easy layup. Like, I don't know why you know, they wouldn't do that. It's, oh God, I will say this. No more snow. Oh, I love it. I love it. I hate the snow. I hate the snow. But man, yeah, I don't get it, man. We didn't even get like an update today in the PTR, which is wild. Intrepid is acting like these AAA studios. In some ways, yes. In some ways, yes. And it feels like everything that I kind of argued and you know, I was telling, you know, players that would come in during like phase 1, 2, and, you know, even early access in phase 3. I don't know. It just feels like, I feel like those players would be like, man, Vlad lied so hard. You know, he just, you know, talked up this company and, you know, and this is what they do, you know, like it sucks. And I can see why they would feel lied to at this point. And it's like it's like I know they're fucking trying. You know what I'm saying? Like I know they're trying, but they're not trying in the ways that matter. Does that make sense? It's like, you know, when you see a person putting in like solid effort, but the thing they're putting effort towards is getting them nowhere, like isn't getting them ahead where they should. And I feel like it's, you know, after being told, like after giving the feedback as to like what we want, and we see you put in this effort, but it's like into these things that it's just like, but why are you concentrating on that first? Like why are you doing these things first? You know, like that's the thing that kind of I don't know, just kind of gets me. You know, so you're interrupted acting like without the progress. Well, it's so funny, like even the AAA studios, man, like their progress is super fucking slow. Like look at World of Warcraft, like you have to wait almost 6 months before a major patch. Like, and that's how it is. It's like they expect you to go through almost like, what is it, 120 days with no content, and then they'll give you like a mini update within the middle. Like, so every quarter, at the end of the quarter, they'll give you like a small little thing to hold you over until the next like major thing. Yeah, but a major patch in WoW is like the size of an expansion of other MMOs. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if that's the case, well, I guess you might be right, because most people, when a new patch comes out, has about a week's worth of content and then it basically dies. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, because that's what most MMO launches do. We see, you can't compare WoW because they gatekeep on purpose for subs. Undermine? You mean the Undermine patch? I mean, I would say any patch that I experienced in the War Within, like it kept me engaged for about a week or two and then dropped off, you know, which is, again, like you said, it's pretty on par for any live launch of an MMO. Like most retention nowadays when a new MMO launches was within 30 days. Outside of 30 days, most people have probably quit by then. Let me see. Yeah, I just meant it had a new zone, new raid, etc. That's true. That is true. What game is this? This is a game called Ashes of Creation. It is still a work in progress. There is a lot of bugs, a lot of issues, a lot of problems within this game. But yes, this is a game that is in Steam Early Access that has about maybe 2.5 or 3 years left to cook. But we'll see. We shall see how long is left in the actual oven. Let me see. Also, in trouble wasted too much time on iterating systems. You mentioned trees always appearing in the same place. This would have been the third or fourth path since Alpha 2. Get it right the first time, perhaps. Oh, well, sometimes it's hard to get it right the first time. Sometimes it's hard to get it right the 80th time, to be honest with you. But this is where I think, in tandem, listening to the community and as well listening to y'all's development team to see where the healthy middle is. And sometimes there isn't a healthy middle, because what players often want is things developers don't want players to have. And this is where the friction usually happens between the players and the developers. And then you have the players saying, did the devs even play their own game? And the devs are like, of course we do. We just want to play it this way. Well, yeah, but the players don't. So it's like, it's always this weird middle of like, who are you trying to really make this game for? You guys, the developers, or the players? Because sometimes I feel like it's almost like a chef who makes his food the way he likes it, and then every time he serves it, it's like people kind of taste test it and is just like, but why did you cook it this way? And the chef's like, well, because I like it cooked this way, you know. And it's like, well, and then you either have that thing of like, well, I don't want to go to this restaurant anymore because of the way the chef cooks the food. So, let me see. Did I just miss the band list? Anything juicy in there? Nah, Sandy, it was just a bunch of names you probably never heard of, really. Yeah, screw the chef, cook it how I like. And sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes the chefs think they know better than you, that they know better than your own palate. And this is what always got me about Blizzard, because that's how I always felt about Blizzard, was even though you play WoW this way, well, your way is not the way you should be doing it. You should be doing it our way. And that's what always kind of really upset me about the process of playing World of Warcraft. And I feel like now, like, I don't know how Intrepid is thinking internally with certain systems, and if they like certain systems the way they are intended. And, you know, like, again, all of this can be done with communication. And I think honestly, we try to learn as much as we can during like our Steven interviews, and like anytime we talk to Steven, we're always trying to like get information out of him in a way that's like very conducive to the community. And, you know, this is why, like, you know, if I were to ever talk to Steven again, I really want to do like a more podcast style of, you know, instead of like an actual Q&A, like to just talk about like just more like talk stuff broadly, you know, so we can have more, because he's a yapper and I'm a yapper too. And we can yap about certain systems and philosophy, but I would like to talk more about like the more itty gritty stuff of development and like how things come to a consensus from the team, the things that they choose to prioritize over other things. Like, how do they involve player sentiment and player feedback into their decision-making processes? Like, how much of that do they keep in mind, and how much of that is more selfish on the developer's end, to make it the way they want instead of the way we want? Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about, because I feel like it's very relevant to how we make feedback towards the developer. Because if we know how they think, then we can better choreograph our feedback in a way that is more conducive to that manner. And we wouldn't be as frustrated sometimes with, well, man, are they just really not listening? Or, you know, like, what's going on? You know what I mean? It's not saying that every time a person leaves feedback that they have to verbatim do the thing that person directly said, but it's more so the spirit of it, right? Like right now there's the spirit of the PvP conversation of the lack of unfulfilling PvP. And there's many different posts and many different Reddit threads and many different Discord threads of how to fix that. But there is a spirit of feedback that people are unsatisfied with PvP. So how does the developers take that unsatisfaction and create satisfaction with their systems? Like, how do they do that? Steven is making his game. That's very true. Well, Steven is making his own game the way he wants it, which is fine. And this is why I always say, like, how much of it is a decision that we can do based off feedback or not, right? Like, this is something, you know, like I said, like, we can give feedback on PvE servers, right? We all know that the deep ones in the community will know this game will never have PvE servers, but that feedback can be left and then be thrown in the garbage. But so we don't really spend our time anymore, or at least some of the PvEers don't spend their time anymore making that argument, because we know that's just something that's never going to happen. But I feel like there's other systems that are probably just like the PvE server conversation that we just don't know about. And that's what I want to kind of uncover. You know what I'm saying? Why are you wearing workout gloves? These aren't workout gloves. These are compression gloves for blood flow, because I have carpal tunnel. And I use these to be able to play computer games and not have my hands go like an 80-year-old in just 30 minutes. So we're Hilton. How's it going, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Doing good myself. It's fantastic when you fix something no one asked for or knew existed, when they won't fix issues that have been killing the player base. Exactly. That's what I mean. It feels very like, are they listening? Like, are they hearing our complaints? Are they hearing what's really bothering players? Because that's what players do, right? Like, the things that we're fixated on are the devs fixated on the same things, or are they doing stuff elsewhere? Are they concentrated elsewhere? And it's nice to know that, hey, our concerns are still at the top portions of their mind, but they're having problems, you know, with fixing those bugs, or, you know, and again, it's like, to me, I feel like, well, isn't this what PTR would be about, right? Like, to, you know, maybe us play the buggy thing to maybe leave feedback or leave, you know, more data for them to find the bug kind of thing. And I get that sometimes the internal QA tries to do their job and not making it so bad when we get it on our end, but I don't know, like, at least we know that the thing that we're trying to get is, you know, like, fishing, right? When you go sports fishing for the fish not to go out of bounds, like that to me is a very simple thing that a lot of players have been having problems with, that a lot of players that have been doing sports fishing have been very pissed off about. The fact of the consuming multiple fishing lures, which was a huge one. And the fact that, you know, that's now been fixed, I think is a very, very good thing. But there's like more of those that we definitely need. I'm on my 4th pair of those gloves. Yeah, I actually have another pair here. Got another pair here. I have like multiple pairs too, dude. Cause I wash them. Like I have to have multiple pairs. I need, cause I sweat a lot through my hands and they get very grody. So I need to have multiple pairs. It feels like they're not even watching what is happening to their game. Intrepid is literally the dog in the house on the fire meme. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Totally fine. No, it's, and again, like from the conversations I have, like with the people that I know at the company, like they know, but I always tell them, but do your friends know? Do the other devs know? Like, I don't know, man. Like I think some devs pay attention to what's going on, but to me, I don't know if it's inherently like a lower level dev problem or the mid to high management problem. Like, I don't know. I can only assume it's probably a mid to high level management problem. I feel like there's something either at the top that is hindering development in a way that it's like the devs want to do thing A, but their bosses are telling them to do thing B and C instead. Like that could be the case. I don't know. I have never gotten confirmation from anyone that that's how it is or that's how it works, but I can only assume, because when I talk to my dev friends that aren't from Intrepid, they tell me a lot of stories that end up happening in that kind of fashion. It's Greg. No, Telly, it's bloody Greg's fault. It could be Greg. I mean, we have no idea, but I mean, if I had to choose anybody to blame, I'd blame Greg. I feel like they've asked for feedback, and if they don't want it, then why are we here testing the game right now? Just launch it when it's ready. And if they really don't want to respond or listen to the feedback we were given, otherwise I feel like I'm just wasting my time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people feel exactly like that. Exactly how you just stated is how a lot of people feel. That many people feel like they're wasting their time. Now, mind you, like when it felt like Intrepid was listening, we were still wasting our time playing a game that is very much not unfinished. But we felt more constructive and more a part of the process of the game being created than we do now. And it all comes down to communication. Again, we're not at these board meetings. We're not at these development meetings, the team meetings. We're not at any of those things. So you have to fill us in like when possible. And again, like, I understand that Margaret's team isn't a big team. Like, it's literally her, like it's 4 people, including her. But to me, I don't really think that that's a particular excuse, because you can always take like 10 minutes from your day to write up a report. And I'm sure reports are already being done. And the other thing about it too, is you have Vacnar and Roshan, which I know they're not a part of every single team meeting or whatever. But the fact is, I've seen more from them than I have seen from like Steven or Margaret, really. And you can just leave it to them. Like, have Roshan and Vacnar be the fly on the wall in these meetings for them to address the Discord. I mean, they're already in the Discord answering questions from us anyway. Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I don't understand. Intrepid Studios encourages a co-creator mentality where player input shapes game mechanics, node systems, and world building rather than just acting as consumers. Well, yeah, like, I think if I do agree with you, it just hasn't felt that way in a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be that way, but it hasn't been that way, for sure. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I am enjoying the game. I am not gilded, moving as fast as able, so I feel like there's plenty of content to explore. I know this is a broke down car that I'm getting to use while it is being fixed. Just enjoying the ride. I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I'm playing the game and I've been having a pretty good time playing as a solo player. Like I have not gotten sick of it. I haven't gotten like, you know, I have a lot of things that I got to accomplish that I want to do. And there's a lot of people that say like, oh man, like I don't even want to gather right now because everything is so borked and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, I guess like, I mean, I personally don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like I personally just want to complete the goals that I'd set out for myself. And that's kind of it. Cause at the end of the day, all of this doesn't matter anyway. Like whether it was going swimmingly or whether it's going terribly, like either way, I'm going to get my fun out of it because that's what I'm choosing to get out of it. Vlad, what card do you have? I have a 4070 Ti and your shadows look way better than mine. I have a 4080 Super that I have on this rig. I have a i9, like that i9, the 13900, whatever, i9. And then I have about 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. I got a 4080 Super. So I got a pretty beefy computer, for sure. Let me see. McDonald's slushy machine is broken and nobody's fixing. It feels. I feel like it's kind of worse than that. I feel like the ice cream machine is actually working, but the employees almost feel lazy to not say that it works because they don't want to make the freaking slush. Like that's what it kind of feels like to me. What the heck? There's like all this PvP happening. People are actually dying? No way. 5080 X3D. I have 32 gigs and a 4000 megahertz RAM. Oh, that's not really anything. Lol D Charles. You see problems. Most people have completed their goals and have nothing left to do. Yeah, I can see that. I've been very slow about it because again, I am, you know, doing this solo and I've been, you know, not grinding the way I should be and stuff like that as far as like efficiency. So yeah, I get that. I totally get that. But I also chose not to sprint either because I knew, and this has happened every single phase, where after a month, the phase feels dead. Like even in phase 2, where everybody was like, you know, where I even say phase 2, I think was probably the best phase out of all of them so far. It still felt dead even after a month. So I think the reason why it wasn't so dead is because PvP was actually more alive and well than it is now. So there was just more reasons for people to still be out in the world. Even though they did complete their goals, there was still fun to be had. I feel like right now people have completed their fun and there isn't any fun to be had, which is why are we here? You know what I mean, why do we have to play the game? Let me see, bro. That's what actually happens. Those machines aren't ever broken. That's just code for someone that was lazy to clean it. That's true. I like the idea of the game and hope it does well. But when I look at the game and testing and early access, a big thing for me is how active the development team is with the players. Yeah, and traditionally, they've been really good. I think they've just been fumbling the ball this 1 month out of the entire alpha phase. So it's like, I know I sound very, oh, look, a bot right here. I know I sound very like doom and gloom and very upset, which one I am upset. I'm disappointed. Oh, another dude, you have 2 bots like back to back. Wish I had a crate. I should probably do that. I should see what it takes to make a crate and see if I can go in and just like kill these people. It'd be fun. Let me see. There are games that I played since beta and over 2 years of beta, and EA, they updated players at least every 2 weeks. Sometimes it's just a few sentences, but at least it's something. So here's the thing, and just full transparency here. Stephen and Margaret, Stephen, who's the CEO of Intrepid and Ashra's, and Margaret, who's the lead communications director, they have been communicating in Discord through like replying to the community. But the thing is that they haven't been replying to the greater community in like an Alpha 2 news post. So they've been answering questions. It's not like they've been totally radio silent. But to me, it's like, why can't you just do like, instead of answering the one person in a chat that's going to be lost within 5 seconds and people have to go back and literally research your last messages or whatever, just address the entire community. Like literally, like why are you addressing one person when this one person and their question could be valid for thousands of people to hear? Like that's my thing. Time to bait and kill construction mine crates, 30 common stone. Well, I definitely got that. I got that. I'm talking about news posts, etc. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. And they have not done that. Like, I think the only thing that they've communicated so far in the month of January was the ban list. But as far as like player concerns, as far as like future patches, I mean, anything of that nature, nothing. The only thing that we've gotten so far is just like the Alpha 2 news posts of like the ban list, which is important, which is a very good move, solid W, but you know, definitely need more direct communication when it comes to like the development of the game, especially at the start of this new year. There's just a lot more needs to happen, which was not happening, and I don't know why. That ban list sucked. To be honest, Zyback, I was disappointed because I mean, I know you heard, but I heard of some people that should have been on this list, and then to not see like even any other members of certain guilds like is like a huge like red flag to me. And this is why I think like it would be nice to see any like previous affiliation with guild. So like let's say like if a person got banned but they weren't in a current guild but they were in a current guild before, I think that their previous like, you know, it should say like was previously in this guild kind of thing. Like I think, you know, that way you kind of see like a trail a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that would be pretty cool. Master Chief, just going on, brother. Good to see you, man. I've had people contact me and admit they RMT'd and are worried that they're going to get banned and they aren't. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's crazy. Let me see, where are all the lore exploiters? No way, they're all unpunished. I don't know. I know what I was told, but of course it all comes down to like, you know, their strength and how many people they want to go ahead and permanently ban. Like me personally, I would just ban them all. But if it was like thousands of players and their community's already hurting, like maybe they wanted to just slap them on the wrist, you know, first. Which, you know, I know Zyback said that, you know, especially with the fish lore exploit, he's like, yeah, just slap them on the wrist. Like me personally, I think I should permaban them. I really do. But, you know, one game that would be out of the 5 most common keywords in bug reports or things like that, just to update that we're receiving them and it was being looked into, they would address, then they address the most common. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Most common ones in the monthly updates with details. Well, to me, I feel like because of the community sentiment lately, like having just a post to quell a lot of the concern from players would have went a long way. Because I feel like they are going to do that. They're going to have their monthly live stream. They're going to address a lot of the concerns the players and the community have had. But I think you could have alleviated a lot of those concerns earlier by making a simple post. Like, that's my thing. Oh, Lord Duper should be reset. Probably. Like, I wouldn't mind if they went to level 0 and their whole account just got, you know, no gold, no items, no gear, just start over kind of thing. So how worried are you about this dev stream? I feel like they're going to be out of touch as hell. I honestly don't even have an expectation for this live stream. The only thing I want them to do is address the community. I'm trying to keep the bar so low that I have a good feeling they'll at least do that. But I guess that kind of shows you how worried I am for this stream, because I'm trying to keep my expectations as low to the ground as possible. When is the stream? The stream is going to be this Friday at, what is it, 1 p.m. Central? Ban them, make them pay for early access again. Well, let me see. They can track everything in game. Each piece of gold, what transactions is involved in, every piece of armor, every material farmed. They have proven it in the past. Yeah, I mean, I just think it comes down to like how many players they found doing those things, and maybe it was too much. I don't know. This is a dev stream, is make or break for a decent amount of people in the player base, at least from Steam. Yeah, I think this, again, if I was a Steam player, I think this dev stream has a lot to prove for a new person. I think for us, people that have been here forever, is kind of par for the course. But I would assume for a brand new player, this is a very pivotal live stream for them. I'm done with empty promises. I'll be looking at specific solutions to this content drought and the lack of communication. We need info on their new content is coming. Well, I mean, Margaret did say that they're going to let us know like what things they're going to be focusing on, like what the new patches and the things that are going to entail in these new patches. But it seems to me that I think they probably had other priorities. And then once they probably started to see the community sentiment on certain things and realize that their plans did not have anything to do with the things that we're currently complaining about, maybe they pivoted. Maybe that's just a coped out take and me being so copium drunk. I don't know, but that's what I hope. I hope that maybe their plans did not consist of the things that the players were kind of being upset about, and maybe they're pivoting. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. If you permaban 30% of the base, you're going to kill your own game. To say that, I say bullshit. Ban the equipment they use. I mean, again, I'm all for it. I'm all for banning a player from doing stupid shit, especially duping or exploiting. But I don't know the numbers. I mean, of course, none of us do. I think right now people are going to the worst possible scenario in sentiment because players aren't feeling the best right now either. So traditionally, when a person is really upset and pissed, they're not trying to think of the most optimistic scenario in their head. They're thinking of like, I'm upset, I'm mad. They're thinking of the worst case scenario and saying that that's probably the most realistic case. You know what I'm saying? I started playing last month after following the project since 2019. And if they don't have some major updates or news this stream, I'm out. I mean, yeah, I can see that. I think for a lot of players, it feels very weird and does not feel the best. And so I hope that people can give them another shot. But some people won't. And that's, again, on them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this all could have been circumvented very easily. But I think even Intrepid knows that they're probably going to burn some bridges, and, you know, they have to make up for that. Maybe they can't make up for that now, but if they stay the course and if they keep pushing, hopefully we can get to that end result, you know, and I hope we can, but I don't know. Ban the buyers. I would say ban the buyers 100%, 300%. Weird in a way that we have all seen previous in other games. I feel like I'm trying to remember what I was talking about for that statement to feel relevant. Sorry, plays. I was reading that. I'm like, what did I say in correlation to that? Let me see. 30% bots, 30% RMTers, 40% gamers. I feel like the botting. Oh, there's silence. Thank you. Yes. No, yeah. It is. The silence has been so deafening. I think bots are a big problem. Feels like it's bad, if not worse than WoW. Well, I feel like it's probably just as bad as WoW. WoW is always worse because there's just a shit ton of WoW bots. But the reason why I think it feels worse is because you see them everywhere in the game. Like that's why it feels bad. Like everywhere you go, like we just saw on my stream little like 5 minutes ago, I saw two bots almost side by side mining. And so when you keep seeing them repeatedly in your gameplay loops, like you feel like the whole game is riddled with them, you know? And that's where it, you know, it just spells like this kind of disaster for people, for players, which it is very disasterful. I mean, to the economy, it's fucking dreadful. It's terrible. Plus doesn't help that Resna server is all but empty and Polar has moved to Shoal under a different guild name. What guild name are they under now? Because I'm on Shoal. I need to know what guild to look out for. Let me see. Absolutely 100% ban buyers equipment, make them buy new equipment. You see, I've seen the same bots for 3 weeks now. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the same bots around Ice Bear. Is that their new guild name? Is Ice Bear? Very clever. It's not like they were hiding it too much. Let me see. They said mods play the game. It seems like if the bots that mods see got the immediate ban hammer, there should be less than there are. Potentially, but I don't know like how. I don't think mods have the capacity to ban people like that though. Like that's the thing. If they come on and say we'd be monitoring the hackers and bots to learn what they were doing and we wipe, I'd be happy. Well, to me, I feel like a wipe would really piss off a lot of players. I think wiping now would be even more detrimental because we don't have fixes. Like, what fixes do we have? We would still have bots come back in that wipe. We'd have RMTs still be there. Like, we need way more shit preemptively, like in the back end, to fix. Can I go inside the Jova work server? Like, am I just like stuck? Can I not go in? Am I stuck? Oh no. Either that or it's like Jova is just like completely. The one thing I will say though, global chat, I have not seen in days anyone promoting like go into an MMORPG website to buy gold. One small W, I will say, because I have not seen anybody like promote in the general chat as far as that goes, which is good. You see, it's server side rubber banding as well. Oh, okay, so it's not just me. Fix the hacks will be a major software update. My statement was assuming the guy has a true fix for both. Yeah, I think we need those fixes in before a wipe can happen. If we have fixes in, then I'm down for a wipe. But if there's no fixes, then there's no point to wipe. That's my thing. Wait. I was like, whoa. Okay, so it's just super duper like crazy bad right now. Got it. Okay, and what has happened on the new PTR build? So far, really not much of anything. They fixed some stuff when it comes to summoner, sports fishing stuff. I mean, it was kind of a big nothing burger, really. I didn't see anything that was too crazy or anything like that, to be honest with you. It was kind of a pretty big disappointment, to say the least. I need to I want to actually grind all these up. There we go. me go get the Craig Shatter Salts. I regret buying the cool Spider Mount skin so early. Why? No, I was saying the networking issues on the new PTR build had mad rubber banding. Oh, okay. Yeah, honestly, every time I've gone into the PTR server, it's always like really bad. Like, and it's because I think they have certain backend tools on, which causes performance to be terrible because they're actually capturing data, like as people are playing the game. So it always is like pretty bad. There was a true endgame issue with the town leveling system. When there are limited level 5 towns, we will still have the server login queue problem, too many players in a space. Well, I feel like they didn't really do a great job in utilizing the server worker architecture to its full potential. Like, you need to literally make this square, which, you know, let's say this square is actually a server grid, which I think it is. I think this is legitimately its own server grid. You need to utilize each grid because we all know that it basically splits and then splits again. What I would do is, if it's possible, I don't know if it is, to have every single settlement to be manually split all the time. So that way you have, because I know they say like, oh, like, well, the server will only split like if so many players, and then it'll split once and then it'll split again. But I think if you were to have this redesigned in a way where you can have certain districts, like a district here, a north district, an east district, and a west district, sort of like this. Because honestly, I thought the town was going to be much bigger than this. I don't know if they're making, because I think the well, it's not Metropolis anymore, but the cities, which will be the next tier. So we have 4, which is towns, and then the level 5 will be cities. Like, I feel like it's just going to be this copy pasted, flipped in its orientation the other way. Do any of y'all feel the same way? Like, do you think cities are literally going to be like almost the same as this, but it's just going to be kind of flipped in the opposite reflection? Like, that's how I kind of feel it's going to be. Let me see. Also, each of those districts has to have a marketplace, storage, etc. So everyone's in one spot. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, you need to literally utilize the architecture better. And I feel like once they do that, I feel like server congestion and also going into settlements won't be as bad. You know, like, that's the thing. All right, so let's it's meant to do that, but I think it has limits as well. I mean, potentially, but I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but I just think that you have to be able to utilize the server technology the most in a settlement. Like, I think that's where it matters, I think, the most, because that's where a lot of your players are going to congregate at, right? Is in main cities. So they need, that's to me where the true test needs to happen, is actually in these main cities. That phrase copy pasta or pisses me off so much. Sorry. I mean, it's, you know, to me, I want better versions and different layouts of cities. And I'm okay with the whole, like, sorry, I'm gonna use the phrase again, copy paste, but I want there to be more unique city layouts. You know what I mean? Like, I want cities to actually have different city infrastructures. And we still haven't even gotten into like races. Remember races actually influencing the look of a settlement? Like, if there was one race that contributed more to it, it was going to have, like, it was going to be a Renkai themed city, or if it was going to be a Pirate themed city, like stuff like that, right? Let me see. Agreed, it could work. It works in the massively populated cities, then it should work during city sieges and massive boss battles. Exactly. That was kind of my mode of thinking too. Like, you can have it work both ways, is what I'm saying. Let me put this over here. Here. All right. So how many do I have? Like, how many basalts do I got? So I got 200. 210 roughly. Let's see. $225. Okay. All right. I don't think I can pull these out. Or maybe I can. Ooh, 12 zinc, 8 copper. Hold on. Oh, that wasn't. God, 9, 10 tonight instead. That's not what I wanted to go for. All right, so 225. All right. It's actually so bad that games 20 years ago had massive and unique cities without AI in the picture, and here we are with all these Unreal Engine tools and AI, and we have the same cities in the most promising MMO of the future. Yeah. I think honestly, like, there's just a lot of stuff that Unreal Engine is not optimized in. And Unreal Engine was always notorious for not being optimized in massive games. That's why a lot of the Unreal Engine games were always like single player games, because that's where it shined. Like, Unreal Engine was never in the in the MMO space, like paving the way for MMOs to exist. I think there's been MMOs that have existed because of Unreal Engine and the amount of caveats that developers had to do to make it work. I think Unreal has started to understand that, hey, we probably should go into more massive, the massive worlds with like big biomes and big things and stuff like that, right? I think that's where Unreal's trying to pivot to now. And there's certain developers that have been almost paving the way for them to do that. You have like Chrono Odyssey, you have Throne and Liberty, you have Ashes of Creation. But I feel like we're very much still in the early adopter phase of Unreal Engine and its capacity for massive games. I think, honestly, no joke, in probably 10 years time, I would say by 2035, you're going to see way more massive, like probably MMOs in way better efficiency and optimization than you are going to be doing that right now. Because MMOs, it takes so much to get off the ground. It takes so much to how long they take to make, that I would not doubt if we saw like real progress in the next 10 years towards the Unreal Engine. And then you'll probably even have like Unreal Engine 6, which is even going to be even more performant. Because the one thing we do know about Unreal Engine 6 is that it's going to have something with multi-threading. Like, it's going to have the ability to truly multi-thread games, which I think Unreal Engine 5.7 has a sort of capacity to do multi-threading, but not like true multi-threading. 13 zinc, 9 copper. Okay, I'll take that. I was hoping for more. 8 and 8. Okay. 9. Okay. I was hoping for something a little bit bigger than that, but I'll take it. Fupo, dude, what's going on, brother? Hope you've been doing well, man. Oracle, good to see you too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did they go to Steam too early? Oh, absolutely. In my opinion, they went. I think going to Steam would have made a huge wave if this was during beta. Like, if during beta 1 they went to Steam early access, I think that would have been amazing. But I think financially and realistically, that probably wasn't within the cards. Because Steven was, in my opinion, Steven was always against going to Steam. So something must have happened for that mindset to change. You know what I'm saying? Apparently the game was built already in Unreal Engine 4, but we had to redo everything to make it work for Unreal Engine 5, and I don't know if I'm capable of snorting that copium from Mr. Sharif. No, that's probably very true. I don't think they had the entire game made. I mean, again, Alpha 1 was in Unreal Engine 4. They had a lot of tools already created in Unreal Engine 4, but those tools can't convert to Unreal Engine 5. So assets like, you know, art, models, you can convert those. Some of them do need to be touched up, and there needs to be a process in some of them to be optimized into Unreal Engine 5. But when it comes to tools and tool generation, that was not something that was going to port over. So in tools, it literally conducts the entire pace of your development. If you have really good tools early on, pacing is going to be really good. If you have to build all of your tools from the ground up, that's going to really fucking slow down you're basically starting from scratch again. Like, and that's what happened. This is why I know people say that, you know, oh, well, you know, Ashes Creation has been in development for 8 years or whatever. But truly, in my opinion, they've only been in development since 2021. So that's my thing. All right. So there. The entire map got reset, probably some systems too. We're missing the dragons from the original Siege system. Well, we're missing the green dragon. We're missing the blue dragon. We're missing the dragon that was the end of the dungeon. Do you remember the dungeon in Alpha 1? That very big, huge, sprawling dungeon that we saw? Where is that? Wouldn't you think that would have been in Alpha 2? Like, where is that? Like, that was a question I actually wanted to ask Steven during the roundtable, but I didn't know. I was like, how we have so many other questions to like ask about, but I really want to have a conversation about Alpha 1 and the assets, the stuff that was actually used in there. You see, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that just like behooves me. I just don't see the logic in switching to a newer, more buggy engine when you already have a good amount of game built on the previous one. The studio makes no sense in its decisions. Well, it does make sense, because if you're a dev, you know the horror it is to develop an Unreal Engine 4. It's not the best. It's a lot to slow down companies. Dibs on Vlad Storage when they bring up sieges. And so the process in developing Unreal Engine 4 is a borderline shit show. There's videos on YouTube that you can watch from devs explaining the process and how it works on the back end, like at a normal day's work. And it can really slow down production a lot. You need a very efficient pipeline and a production team to make Unreal Engine 4 even like semi-smooth. So in Unreal Engine 5, you don't have those same restraints as you do in Unreal Engine 4. So that to me is why they switched on Unreal Engine 5. And that to me does make sense. And especially talking to some of the game devs, not that work at Intrepid, but work at other places that I'm friends with, explained to me. So I'm going to laugh if you ask him and his response is, it isn't in the game. Jesus. What sword, dude? What are you talking about? Isn't the dungeon that you're describing the one that we have that in Alpha 2? You can go to it right now. Pretty sure the only reason why the world got expanded was because of UE5, even though we're probably only launching with one continent. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that either. I would not doubt that either. I want to see where I can fit all this shit, man. I need to see what I can do about I'm making some rare copper ingots now that I have a lot of that shit to go around. Here. Let me see. Just from 2020 to now, Steam user base has grown like a pretty crazy. Can see the reasoning. Steam hit all-time peak concurrent users this month on the 11th of 42 million. It is a big difference from the 2018 to 2020 pre-COVID era. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think going to Steam, I was not ever against going to Steam. I wanted to go to Steam at the right time. And I felt like right now in phase 3 was not the time to do it. I've said that, I don't know how many times already, but I mean, I still stand by that personally. To me, it just was not the time to go. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take off. I'm going to do some more maintenance shit on my storage and probably make some more ingots and shit. But I really appreciate you guys coming on, having a discussion like always. It's always great to see everybody, all the familiar faces in chat. And if there's any new here, well, thank you for sticking with me for until now. If you want to follow and have discussions with me, I try to stream every single day here on Twitch and on YouTube. And so, yeah, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Very much appreciate it. I'll keep you up to date anytime I make content, my short form content, or even go live like right now. Or if you're watching me on Twitch, you can just hit that heart button, keep you up to date anytime I go live there. And yeah, and I forgot, someone wanted me to guide the raid earlier. Who was it? Dreams. Are you still there? Do you want me to raid to anybody specific? Was there like a buddy of yours that you want me to raid to? Or anybody? Give me a name and I will raid over to them. Is he even still in chat? I don't know if he is or isn't. Your boy Willie? Okay, here, hold on. I'll see if he's streaming right now. Oh, he's not live anymore? Oh, okay. Oh, for people that were watching me on Friday, I raided over to a guy I've never seen before because I like to give people that have small followings like a chance to like get exposure or whatever. And the dude had a follow only chat. I'm so sorry. That's what happens sometimes. Like you literally try to like go in and brighten someone's day with the raid and then they have like a follower only chat and you're like, oh my God, like why? I'm just trying to see. There's that mushroom streamer guy playing. Mushroom streamer. Oh yeah. This dude. Oh my God. I have never seen this dude's content. Oh my God. Does he have a subscriber only chat or like a follower only chat? No? Okay, good. All right, I'll raid over to him. His content looks funny. I'll raid over to him. I'm just looking at his stream right now. Mr. Deathcap is his name. All right. I like him already. All right, guys, you have a great day. Now, I'll